Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Helium 10 Total Package. I'm your host, Leila Hassan, and this is the show where we show you step by step exactly how to optimize your listing as well as your customer experience. In this show, I will be focusing primarily on two main subjects, which is listing optimization and your customer's experience. Overall, I want to give you the optimization strategies to help you index and convert, but also to help you have happy customers once they get your package. And that is exactly why we call it the total package. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to go over products in the same niche with similar features and a similar price range to show you, one, how different their listings can look, and two, how big of an impact a good listing can have. First, we're going to go over listings and then unbox and talk about the total package. Let's take a look at a wild listing on Amazon. I have typed in the keyword potato ricer on Amazon Canada, and I'm going to try and find two contrasting listings to draw a comparison between their listings. For my first product, I'm going to go with this particular listing. Now, this is what a customer will see when they search for a product they want or need. The first few things they will see are title, price, and main image. This product is selling for $21.99, which is a pretty reasonable price, I'd say. And hey, they're using pricing psychology by ending their price in 0.99 and pricing it in an odd number. So this will make it seem like, they're offering a very low price. And from a pricing standpoint, I actually think they're doing a pretty good job. So now let's take a look at the next thing that a customer will see when they're looking at the millions of search results that are appearing. And that is your main image. Now, what they have for a main image is a lifestyle image, which is non-compliant with the terms of service of Amazon. And the angle that they're using for the product in the main image is from the side. So really no part of the top of the product is being shown, and looking at the image, I can't tell what the potato ricer looks like from the top, or I can't really discern what the size of it is. All right, so main image, maybe not a very good job. I think there definitely needs to be a lot of improvement in that area. Okay, let's look at the title now, and the title reads stainless steel potato ricer manual juicer vegetable fruit squeezer. Wow, that's a lot of keyword stuffing happening here and has absolutely no flow to it. So the seller did not even put their brand name in the beginning, and that makes it even worse. Again, they're not complying with the Amazon's terms of service by not including their brand name. And just by looking at the title, I wouldn't even know, like if I was a buyer, and if I read that title, I wouldn't even know what the purpose of this product is. It says in the title that it can juice vegetables, but does it have interchangeable discs that could be used for different purposes that are outlined here? Like, how would it mash potatoes and juice an orange at the same time is like what's going through my head right now. Can it be used for maybe mashing other vegetables? How does one even use this? Do I use raw vegetables or boil them? Do I peel the fruits or not? I'm left with so many questions just by looking at this title and the main image. It doesn't really quite answer my questions, as you can see. And now let's take a look at the listing to see, as a whole, are they doing a good job at convincing a customer? Because, by the looks of what's appearing on the search results, I definitely would not be clicking on this listing. But let's say in the odd chance that I do click on this listing, are they able to convert me to a sale? So let's take a look at their listing. All right, now let's look at what they're doing with their listing. And the first thing I'm going to look at is the images section. Okay, we've already talked about their main image. So let's look at their secondary images. And from what I'm seeing, and it almost, the worst part of these listing images is that they're not even using their secondary image slots to showcase their product in different lifestyle settings. Like, I don't see a single lifestyle setting there. That was a big opportunity missed because, all these questions that I had in mind could just be answered by putting them in all of these different lifestyle settings. And even looking at their infographic images, they're not answering a whole lot, right? So anyway, not a great job with the secondary images either. I'm going to move on to another section of the listing, which is the copy, the bullet points. Okay. And here's the funny part. Okay. The seller is lazy on a whole new level. It literally says in the bullet point, color, check, dimensions, check. And that's hilarious to me because they're making the buyer do all the work. If anything, you should make it easier for the buyer to go through your listing. So, like, they could have just stated the color and the dimensions, but, they're just like, go check it in the images yourself. I think that's so funny. Okay. So they haven't even, given us any additional information on this product. So the questions that I had previously in my head are still not answered. It's still a mystery, guys. Okay. Now, what they have mentioned, though, in their bullet points is that it's a 304 stainless steel. I don't know about you, but this makes no sense to me as a buyer. Like, I could have gone without knowing the type of stainless steel that they've used in the manufacturing process, right? Instead, it would be nice to know what a 303 stainless steel's features are. There's other pressing information that could have been provided instead of this. And guess what? They have so much space, so much unutilized real estate that they didn't even have to replace this with anything. They could have just simply explained it further in the same point. Okay, so it's time to run the listing analyzer on this listing to see how it performs. Listing Analyzer is one of our listing optimization tools at Helium 10, where you can enter in one product or multiple products, and it will give you an overview of the listing quality based on some industry standard benchmarks, okay? And it will also show you some of the top money driving keywords for the product. So I entered my products, first products, ASIN in here, and let's see how it performs. Okay, so the report is in, and this product has scored a total of 5 points on its listing. On average, you want to score an 8 or above to make sure that you have a decent listing and are taking into account Amazon's terms of service or any listing best practices that have been laid out by Amazon. Now, keep in mind that this product does sell about 35 units per month. Okay, that's what X-Ray is telling us, which is not bad considering how poor their listing looks, right? To a buyer, if I were to land on this listing, I probably would not be buying from them. But the fact that they're making 35 unit sales per month, it's pretty impressive, I have to say. Now, imagine how well they could have done if their listing was really optimized. So, we've gone over what they're doing wrong, and we've talked about what they could have improved. But let's take a look at another listing, which is selling a similar product, but is doing a better job at listing optimization. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the same keyword in Amazon's search result. So again, I'm going to go to Amazon.com and put in potato ricer and pick another listing that seems like it could be doing a better job. So the purpose for this is that I really wanted to draw that side-by-side comparison of the same products but a different listing, so that we find out how big of a difference it can make when you land on these different listings as a buyer. Okay, so this is the listing that I've chosen, and again, we will look at the first 3 components that a buyer will see when they see your product on the search result. And the first one is price. So they've actually priced their product at $34.76. So it's a bit expensive, but look at that orange badge there. They have a $5.87 discount available. So maybe people will buy if the seller showcases that value through their listing page, and maybe people will click on it. Like maybe they will get a higher click-through rate if their title and their main image is convincing. So let's move on to the main image. Okay, the good thing is their main image is compliant with the terms of service. It's showing me the different components the product has, as well as it's a very good angle of the product. So I get a clear picture of what this product really is, right? So I'm gonna pass this product on the main image side of things. Now, let's move on to the title. Okay, so it could have included the brand name, but the good thing is that it highlights the 3 interchangeable discs, which is a really great way to put in that keyword, and also, you know, to stand out from the competition, because as you remember, the other listing did not have that interchangeable disc. So this is a great keyword to use because it's making them stand out. Now, there's another really great keyword used here, and can you guys guess which one it is? I'll tell you. Baby food. So after reading this, I finally know now that a lot of people use this product for mashing vegetables for babies, so kind of like making homemade baby food. And I think it's a great and a very important keyword to include there, because as we know that the top 3 places that will help you rank for a keyword are your title, your search terms, and your subject matter. So including it in their title, I mean, they've almost crushed it with their title and keyword research. Let's just put it that way. Okay, now let's take a look at their listing and see if we will be convinced to buy their product. Okay, so kind of the same pattern. We will first look at their secondary images. And we have an instructional infographic image showing you how to use the product. This includes the fact that you should use cooked vegetables in it. So remember how I had one of these questions in mind? Well, it's answered another one of my questions. Wonderful. And the other picture highlights the 3 types of discs and how they can serve different purposes. So far, they're doing a great job. They're answering all the questions that I had in mind when I was looking at the previous listing. And lastly, there's a picture that shows that it's dishwasher safe. That's actually a very important feature because a lot of the utensils used in the kitchen might not be dishwasher safe, and you need to include that. Whether it is or whether it's not, you need to include that in your pictures, in your copy, everywhere, so that your product doesn't get damaged when a person uses it, right? And lastly, they have a video demonstrating its use. So phenomenal. I love it. I'm actually almost convinced. I think I'm gonna buy it. Okay, so a lot of my questions have been answered here, covering all the important points that will in fact convince a buyer to buy this product. And that is the biggest sign of a well-optimized listing. Now, we will move on to the next part of the listing, which is the bullet points. And just by without even reading it, do you see how detailed and descriptive these points are? As a buyer, I get to see the key features and have all my questions answered when I read it because it's so descriptive. And it also says that it's multifunctional, and I can use it for a bunch of other vegetables that they've outlined here. So they've also given me ideas for other uses for this product. I'm very impressed, guys. Okay. Next bullet point talks about the non-slip handle. That is such a good point to highlight because the other one did not have any kind of a grip on the handle. And this is what is making them unique from their competitors. So all the more reason to include it everywhere possible that you can in your listing. Okay, next point is talking about the fact that it's stain and corrosion resistant. So it speaks to its buyers in their language, not stating 303 stainless steel, which is manufacturing lingo. So an everyday buyer like me, would not even understand what you're trying to communicate to us. Is it good quality? Is it bad quality? What are you trying to tell me here? Right. However, great copy, but just by looking at it, it is a bit too detailed. So what I'm going to do is put it into Helium 10's Listing Builder, which is another one of our great listing optimization tools. And it basically helps you write your own copy, judge your competitors' copy. So I'm going to copy this into Listing Builder's copywriting section, so their bullet point section, because I do feel like the bullet points are a bit too long. And guess what? I was right. After the part of the fourth bullet point, which, you know, this specific part, I think you don't even complete the word you. That's where they hit the 1,000 character limit. And so what that means is anything after this point is not going to be indexed. You want to keep that in mind when you're writing your bullet points, because I feel like it's wasted effort if you keep writing and writing. And honestly, as a buyer, I doubt anyone would want to read such a long paragraph on one listing, because, you know, it's common for buyers to jump from one listing onto another. So you need to really grab their attention and say all the important things and include all the important keywords in the shortest space possible. Okay, these short concerns aside, I feel like they did do an overall decent job at listing optimization, so mad props to them. But I want to further drive my point home, and I want to take a look at what they score on Listing Analyzer, okay? And look at it, it has scored 9.8, checking off a majority, like knocking off almost all of the best practices. It's also made 101 sales in the past month when I pull up the data on Chrome's extension X-Ray tool, okay? So, I mean, it's we can already see as buyers that they're doing such a great job at listing optimization, but it is also reflecting in their sales. And that's you know, all the more reason to optimize your listing. So let's talk about some key takeaways from the first segment. For me, the main takeaways were: target the right keywords in your title, showcase the use and purpose of your product via images and videos, and lastly, give information about the benefits and features of your products through the bullet points. So just really basic things, you know, that people fail to cover in their listings. And after taking a look at their listings, you know, I wanted to know how the brands were performing in terms of the customer experience. So what I did was I went ahead and ordered both the products so that we could see how the later experience looks like. Once a person is convinced, they buy your product, what does that experience look like for both of these listings? So let's go ahead and unbox them. All right, so the products have arrived and we're gonna see how they compare against each other in terms of the customer experience. So let's see what we've got here. And we're gonna begin by comparing the packaging first. I'm gonna take out the product from the first listing first. So this is what we've got. It's basically come in plastic Ziploc, and when you open it, there's another plastic covering that's kind of wrapped around it. And yeah, so no packaging. Looks kind of rough and I don't know, a bit underwhelming, if I'm being honest. Like, if I had paid for this product, I don't know if I'd be particularly happy about receiving this, right? Because it wasn't even extremely cheap. And, you know, if a package doesn't get you excited about the brand, it just goes to show that you need to work on your branding quite a bit. So, you know, very underwhelming in terms of that. But let's get rid of this and see the packaging for the next listing, the better listing. Let's hope that this one's a little better. Okay, there's some hope here. So, okay, Now, this is from the second listing, and it's come in a packaging, like customized packaging. They don't have the brand name written on it, but you know, at least they've got like the branding colors. They're showing the product. They've also mentioned, I don't know if you can see, but they've also mentioned some product features here. So in terms of packaging, not bad. At least, you know, it's like a decent package. And when you open it, let's see what it looks like on the inside. So the first thing I see is a product insert, and you know, it tells me the name of the brand and it says thank you. So not really adding value, but on the flip side, it's got a message. And what it says is, I guess the first thing that I noticed was it says, please sharing the wonderful experience, which is grammatically incorrect. So, I mean, it comes off as a bit unprofessional. But that's not the bigger problem here. There's the more pressing matter here at hand, and that is, it tells me that if I'm not satisfied with a product, I should contact them on this particular email, and they've given us an email to reach out to. And then they say, but share your wonderful experience by giving us a review. So can you guess what's wrong with that? They are influencing our reviews by asking us to share our wonderful experience only. And these words are non-compliant with Amazon's terms of service. It can get you in trouble because, you know, let's say if they had said something like, leave us a review of your experience, that would have been a completely different story. That would have been the safer way of wording it. But, you know, right now they're saying, if you have any problems, you contact us on email, but if you have a good experience, only then leave us a review, which is violating the terms of service of Amazon, and they could get in trouble for this. So you want to stay away from risks like these at all costs. They're not worth it, and there's better ways of really phrasing your product inserts. So if you haven't watched Freedom Ticket 3.0 already, then go ahead and watch episode 4.07, which talks about compliant inserts in a lot of detail. And another way of getting a good insert is just to go on to Helium 10. It has simplified the product insert process for you. You can simply go to our tool called Portals and select the Product Inserts tab to take advantage of the pre-made templates we have available for you. Now, I know that Amazon is always updating its terms of service, so we stay updated on news from Amazon and do the homework on your behalf so that you don't have to. And our templates are always updated and in accordance with the terms of service of Amazon. For instance, in this brand's case, I see that they have a storefront with other kitchen-related products. So if I were them, I would actually give my customers a coupon code for their next purchase, or maybe some kind of a giveaway. And if they hadn't included a set of instructions on their listings already, then maybe including that in your insert would also be a good idea. But because they already have that on their listings, I wouldn't necessarily repeat myself on their list on the insert, because you do want to give the customer some kind of value through these product inserts. Okay, so that's about inserts. Now let's see how they have packaged this product inside it. So over here, you know, they've again kind of done something similar of the plastic covering. Not the best, but I mean, because they had that product packaging, I would say that they already are one step ahead of the game, and I actually wouldn't mind seeing this plastic bag, maybe, you know, exchanging it with something else, or like something that's better packed, like, you know, it closes on the other end, would make me feel a bit more reassured as a customer that it's clean and, you know, it's just coming to me completely packaged right from the factory. So that is the only thing that I would change about it, or maybe I would even change the material. Instead of plastic, I would go for something more environment friendly, or maybe like a reusable bag. Okay, so that's on product packaging. Now let's compare the two different products and see how if there is any difference between the two products, because they are charging a different price. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it. All right, so this is from our first listing, and this one's from our second listing. And as you can see, there's like a huge difference between the two. This one's definitely like, just by holding it, I can see that it's a lot sturdier, and you know, the metal looks very high quality. It's a bit heavyweight, so you know, it just comes off looking better, even in terms of design. Like if you compare the two, this one looks a bit like, it's a bit lanky too. Like the steel doesn't look like very high quality. Another thing is, again, it comes branded, which is so important. Selling on Amazon, like I said, is quite competitive these days. So you want to go a little above and beyond and like brand your product. You know, they've got the grip that really makes it stand out. So all in all, like as a customer, I'd be pretty happy. Not only was I able to see the value of the higher price in their listing, but also as a customer, if I receive this product compared to like other things on the market that look like the other one, you know, I'd be pretty happy with this product. All right, so this marks the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to watch the next episode where we'll focus on a completely different aspect of listing optimization. Now, I did want to close out today's episode by mentioning that I also do monthly Ask Me Anythings with Kevin King, Bradley Sutton, and many other experts in our team in this Freedom Ticket Extra coaching program. So if you'd like to try it out, go to helium10.com/FTX and use the code The Total Package to get 50% off your first month of coaching there. So it's only going to be $38.50 for you. And if at the end of the month you're not satisfied, you can get your money back. So everyone can sign up for that, and make sure that you come with your questions when I'm on and let me know that the total package brought you here. So be sure to hit the like and subscribe and hit the bell icon at the bottom so that you can get notified every time we have new content for you. Let us know your thoughts or what you want to learn about in the comments below. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.